What's good, everyone? Dr. Treblesix here with another installment of the psychology of a Dark Souls player. And today we're working within the confines of Dark Souls Remastered inside Sen's Fortress. This episode is actually very special. The subject we are doing a deep dive psychology assessment on is actually an Elden Ring player. How can I tell? Well, the first clue we can extrapolate upon is that this host has a co-op phantom. More importantly, a password phantom. You see, Dark Souls Remastered introduced password matchmaking because this game was not made with Miyazaki's vision in mind. No. You can tell when someone has a password phantom that's scaled down to the host's level because there's a little symbol next to their name. Now you may be asking yourself, well, Dr. Treblesix, I use password phantoms sometimes. And I'm not a Elden Ring player. And to that I say, well, he messaged me later during the invasion asking him to please stop and quit out because he's been trying to get to the Grace for about an hour. So there you go. L2 Ring player playing Dark Souls for the first time, and a first time Dark Souls player is having trouble in Sen's Fortress. What happened to Souls players? They can beat the Shadows of the Erdtree DLC, but can't get through Sen's Funhouse? We're losing receipts. What happened? Where did it all go so wrong? Now this fight is very long, as you can see by the video runtime on YouTube. Look, see, look at the time. See, look at the time. It's kind of long for just one invasion. Now Dark Souls 1 had, as far as I know, no invasion timer for how long the Dark Spirit, that's me, can invade another player's world. Now, Dark Souls 2 changed that to be only 15 minutes, requiring the invader to actually do something and not just be passive. And 15 minutes is plenty of time. But this isn't Dark Souls 2. No, this is Dark Souls 1. More specifically, Dark Souls Remastered. You can tell it's Dark Souls Remastered because everything is super shiny looking and everything looks like it was smeared with Vaseline. So anyway, we abuse this fact because I'm doing research. Yes, I'm doing research on 2 players. I said 1 player earlier, but now we're doing a deep dive psychology report on 2 players. The Phantom is clearly more experienced. Now he must be telling his buddy, hey look, we got the advantage. The invader has to come to us, right? We got the high ground. And we got a tight corridor to bottleneck the invader in and beat him. So I am also an experienced invader and a doctor and a gamer. Call me the treble triple because I am all 3. Now, have you ever heard of the definition of insanity? Because I think that's kind of what I suffered. I suffered a mass psychosis of playing during this part of invading. You see, I kept going through this tunnel trying to fight these 2. I thought, maybe this time it'd be better. It won't go like this. See, even doctor psychologists can suffer under the pressures of invading. So here I am. Oh, drop it down again with charcoal pine resin. I say, this time, this is the one, right? I get the thrust attack. I block with my handy heater shield. Thrust. Thrust. He hits me. Thrust. I got him though. Get a few more good hits on. Thrust. I know he can't have too many Estus himself. Thrust. I miss. The range on a halberd is a lot better than a straight sword. Pop the green blossom. Let's go. I'm charged up. I pop my sensu bean. Let's go. Oof. I don't know how that hit me. But I'll get him this time. Strike, 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 strike. I do pretty good damage against the host. He must not have many Estus left. Here I am chugging again. Now, I take another hit, and that's okay. This is a waiting game, I realize. I get a backstab. Hell yeah. Smack. And then I'm out. And then I suffer the most insane latency backstab I've ever seen in Dark Souls. Wait, what? Now, I speed up the footage because this invasion lasted a whopping 27 minutes and 18 seconds. 27 minutes and 18 seconds. I could start a brand new game of Dark Souls 1 and beat it in that amount of time. I sped up the footage for you, the viewer, and mine's sanity. But since we're on the topic of things you could do during this entire invasion, here's a list. We could do the dishes, watch an episode of a 22-minute show, write a poem, sketch some drawings. Look at what I drew. Ooh, look at that one. Watch every single part of the psychology of a Dark Souls player prior to this one. Make, then wear a tinfoil hat in public like they did in the movie Signs. Watch the first 27 minutes of Signs. Learn some phrases in a foreign language. Move, children, vamonos. Ride an exercise bike and burn 300 calories. Clean your room. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Try to fool Akinator. I totally got him this time. He'll never guess this one. Try and teach yourself how to juggle using fruit. And finally, cook yourself a meal from 30-minute meals. A lot of the footage is just me waiting for something, waiting for them to make a bad move. A move for them to be their last. I was in the jungle. I had a mission. So we are gesturing and baiting them out to fight me on more favorable terms. Is this dirty? Maybe. Is it fair? Debatable. Is there honor? There's no honor in invasions, let's be real. There's honors in duels because you can't heal. That's about it. But you know what they say, if you aren't fighting dirty, you aren't fighting to win. And just like Purple Guy from Five Nights at Freddy's, I always win. See, I'm playing mind games. I'm playing mind control. I'm using the powers given to me as a doctor psychiatrist to mind control the phantoms and the host to come down and fight me. See, that's what separates good invaders like myself, Dr. Treblesix, from the Kevins. See, the Kevins play Elden Ring with their Radon armor, their Rivers of Blood, their Moonveil, their Bloodhound Fang, their Antspur Rapier. See, they would just run in for the final blow against the hosts. But not me. We get them to chase them after me because they ran out of patience knowing that I'm not going to go back up and fight them by Sen's Fortress Bonfire. I mean, I got no Estus. Now, when you got no Estus, you got less mistakes to make. And I am not making the mistake of going back up there. And one thing that I wanted to try to get was get the plate trap to actually attack the Phantom. I keep trying to bait them out, and look, they actually get hit by it. 130 damage? That's not that much, actually. And I keep trying to get the trap to work. They keep trying to attack me with their Black Knight's Halberd. Very original, buddy. I get a thrust attack off. Really good move. And, you know, using the heater shield is one of the best shields. I gotta say. Like, if I had a rank list of the top 3 shields in Dark Souls 1, it would be Black Knight Shield, Heater Shield, and Small Leather Shield. Look at that. Backstab. Nice. Now look, I try to get the trap, run over it by accident. So I said, okay, well, listen, looks like I gotta turn on the jets. Try to get a hit off on him. I do. But, again, I've got no Estus. None. Nada. Zilp. Zilch. Zero. I buff up my weapon again, trying to get them to attack me. You know, I had a lot of charcoal pine resin. I said, you know what? With no Estus, I need to be able to fight them with everything I got. My charcoal pine resin is my new weapon. Look at me trying to bait him. So I'm getting the 2 players to chase me. Now look at me. Now look at them. Now look at me again. Now I did this invasion as the warrior class playthrough, where I named my character Horaloo, warrior class. Can you imagine? I invaded an Elden Ring baby with the name of an Elden Ring character. This must be one of those situational irony things. I don't know comedy because I'm a doctor psychologist and not a comedian, but I do know that these 2 players are scared of Horaloo, warrior. They should, because look at what's happening. Horaloo and the giant from Sen's Fortress are teaming up. The giant's throwing balls of fire at them. You could even call this giant a fire giant. I'm not, but you can tell I don't really care. If you do, then as a doctor psychologist, I can do a deep dive psychology assessment on you, the viewer. That you love references and callbacks. This was a callback to the fact that we were playing a good game called Dark Souls and not Elden Ring, where you have everything in that game. So much I could write 5 books about it. From hosts hiding behind their phantoms, to magical chain casting like it's a third-person shooter, to Elden Ring, to all I know is Bulgo and more armor. What you find in Elden Ring could leave a doctor psychologist, such as myself, full to the brim of fascinating subjects that we could do a deep dive psychology assessment of on any given day. But again, this isn't Elden Ring, this is Dark Souls. More specifically, Dark Souls Remastered. You can tell it's Dark Souls Remastered because everything is super shiny looking, and everything looks like it was smeared in Vaseline. Also, since this is Dark Souls 1, that means you can't light the bonfire while a phantom is there. Kind of wish that was a thing like they did in Dark Souls 2. So many times I've been invaded after the Silver Knight archers in On Orlando, then I get invaded before I can even light the bonfire there. Like, I could count at least 3 hands the amount of times I've been invaded right before a bonfire and I didn't get to light it. What did Miyazaki mean by this? Well, one thing he meant was that the Dark Spear Invader, that's me, can't get hit by the giant ball of fire from the giant who throws giant balls of fire. Thank you. And after a whopping 5 minutes of waiting, the phantom keeps getting hit from the giant ball of fire. You would think he would just wait. But he doesn't have the patience of a doctor psychologist such as myself, Dr. Treblesix. I have such great patience that I'm able to wait out this giant ball of fire. See, if I was the co-op phantom, I would surely just wait. Or do something else besides just run up and get hit by the flames every few seconds. See, I'm such a great player that I basically bait this guy into getting hit by the fire. Look at that. He's going to take another hit of damage from the fire. I'm just baiting it out. And look at this. Can you believe it? It's the host. Where was he? Playing hide and seek? Where was he? We just spent about 5 minutes chilling up here, the Phantom and I. I guess he was done trying to send me messages over the PlayStation Network. You know, he was sending me a bunch of messages like, please, I need to get to the Grace, bro. Please, stop. Just leave the game. This is my first time playing Dark Souls Remastered on the PlayStation. I need help. Help me. Just leave the game, bro. Yeah, I ain't reading all that. So come on, host. Come on, Phantom. Come on. What are you gonna do? I guess they're gonna wait again. Come on, I got my charcoal pine resin. Come on, get hit by the fire. Come on. Come on, giant who throws balls of fire. Maybe call him a fire giant. I get hit, it misses. Phantom strikes, strike again. Okay, here he is. He's waiting. He's waiting. I'm baiting him. I'm trying to bait him into the fire. Here we go. Here we go. This is the move. Come on, come here. Take the hit. Yes. And down goes the Phantom. That means I get an Estus charge, and I'm back up. Here we go. Oh. Wait. Disconnected. I see. So clearly our host's conflict resolution skills were not very good. Maybe he should head back to Elden Ring. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dive psychology reports of a Dark Souls player.